So earlier today, my friend texted me and asked me how to make my bunny costume, and I'm also making a different set for a friend, so I figured I'd hurry up and give it to him because I can't upload any more pictures onto Photobucket. So I figured I'd make the tutorial, and that way he could see how I went about it. This costume's really messy. You're going to need a vacuum because you're going to get fur everywhere, and you're going to be disturbed in the amount of furriness you'll be participating in. I was epically disturbed during making this costume, so don't be afraid if you're like creeped out. Okay, anyways, there's two types of ways you can go about this. You can use insulation foam, which is like a really condensed version of styrofoam, or you can use the foam that's often used in couches. I will post the name of it. If you're going with insulation foam, know that it's not as flexible, and it may crack, so you have to watch where you're walking or how you're walking when you're in the shoes. I will post links for materials that you can use to cut the foam, and you just cut it into the shape and try to fit it to the shoe, as you can see here, and then you start cutting out, the basic shape of the foot. Whatever feet you want to make, you can just make it. You can look up reference pictures and and look for the shape of the feet and try to carve accordingly. Once you get the shape right and you get it sort of fitting well in the shoe, you're going to get some of this stuff. I don't know what it's called either. And note that hot glue does not work on this stuff. It melts the foam. So use either like liquid nails or tacky glue is what I used for most of the project. And that way you could attach that stuff to the shoe and then put the foam on top of that. If you're using the couch foam, it's a lot squishier and more flexible when you're walking. You do the same procedure. You tape and glue the plastic stuff onto the shoe, and then glue the foam onto the plastic, and then the foam onto the plastic onto the shoe, and blah blah blah. Just making sure the plastic doesn't peek at the bottom. And if you want, you could put it on the whole shoe, but I just put it on under the foam so that it would be protected, because it's harder, especially if you're walking outside, which I wouldn't recommend in these shoes. Once you have everything glued relatively together, you want to make sure, add foam in pieces to make sure that when you put on the fabric it won't look lumpy underneath. Once you have that all set out, you could start using like an old t-shirt and cut out an old t-shirt to start making a pattern for the shoes to put the fur on. How your pattern will be different depending on what kind of shoe you have. You want to note how your shoe bends when you walk. That way your fabric doesn't get all messed up. As you can see here, this is how I went about my pattern for the shoe. I used tacky glue. Note the tacky glue will make the foam harder as well, so it's going to be like really crunchy and stiff and probably painful to put on. And there you have it, your shoe. And you're going to be adorable for Halloween or whatever you want to wear. You could also make spats, which there's tutorials on the internet, and I'll post links for spats. And spats are also very similar to the Naruto sandal shoes, which I will post a link for, and I'll explain the comparisons between the two. And then last but not least, the ears. I got the tutorial for the ears from Threadbangers, and it's a very, very simple tutorial. All I did was make the ears and insert wire, and then once I inserted the wire, I hot glued the ears onto a headband. And that's that.